universal human values. And number two, also give you an idea about the theme of this workshop, this international conference, and the way we will go about it. So in order to clarify that, we are going to deliver on these two issues. The basic is human aspiration, which is well-being of all, and which in turn would call for a healthy human society. So some training is required every time. So, content of this session, we are basically going to talk about what is the basic human aspiration. So if you try to identify, we'll talk about this happiness, prosperity and continuity, which seems to be the aspiration of every human being. We'll also talk about the well-being of all, which again is the basic human aspiration. This is what we would call as holistic development. That we see. And ultimately, if we have a society which is ensuring all this, we'll call it healthy human society. So, all these are used with an equal sign. So, synonymously they are used, but we'll investigate into them and find out what it is exactly. As a methodology, what we are saying is that whatever we are saying here is a proposal. So you take it as a proposal, do not assume it to be true or false, but verify it on your own right. And each one of us has the capacity to verify it on our own right. And the simplest way, or one of the simplest ways to verify is to ask your natural acceptance. If it is naturally acceptable to you, it is right for you. If it is not naturally acceptable to you, it is not right for you. So for example, if I ask you, what is naturally acceptable to you? To be in relationship or to be in opposition? Relationship, right? So this is something which each one of us can verify. In relationship, what will be naturally acceptable to you? The feeling of respect, disrespect? Respect. So whatever we are going to say here, it is a proposal for you. Take it as a proposal. Verify it on your own right. And one simplest way to verify is to ask your natural acceptance. If it is naturally acceptable to you, it is right for you. If it is not naturally acceptable to you, it is not right for you. So that is the way we will go about. Might be not working.
It's cutting. It's cutting.
The battery is not there.
I think you can hold it in your
And
hand. Who solved
okay.
it? Solved it. He moves his head away, no?
This is already
Ask him to
now.
hold it in his hand.
Okay. So this is the first thing we said about the methodology. The second important thing about the methodology, the process is that whatever we are going to go through is a process of dialogue, right? And not a monologue. So I will make certain proposals for you. Each one of you can verify for yourself. If you find it right, you will anyway accept it. If you don't find it right, we can explore, investigate, and if you have any question, we would like to respond to it immediately. So it's a process of dialogue. A dialogue which will start between me and you, but soon it will become a dialogue within your own self. So basically the question which I am asking you, you will start asking this question to yourself. Right? You will start asking this question to yourself. And that is the dialogue which is expected to be initiated through this process. So rather than giving you the content, right, and more of content, our idea is to initiate this process of dialogue within yourself, a process of exploration within yourself. So all these questions that we will keep asking about the natural acceptance, right, of yours, that you can verify within yourself. And next time when you have a feeling, a thought, a desire, you can check with yourself whether it is in line with your natural experience or it is not in line with your natural experience. You want to be prepared? So next time when you have a feeling of opposition within yourself, right, you will start asking this question whether this feeling of opposition is naturally acceptable to me or not naturally acceptable to me. Right? So that dialogue has to start within each one of us. Is it audible now? At the end? So with that process, let us look into this proposal. Since time immemorial, human beings have been searching for answers to two fundamental questions. Number one, what is the basic human desire? And number two, what is the program for its fulfillment? What do you think? Do these questions concern you? Yes? No? Yes. So that if we have answer to these two, I can ensure a fulfilling life for myself, because I know what is my purpose, what is my basic desire, and I know how to fulfill it, and then therefore I can ensure a fulfilling life. If you look at this, the answer to both these questions have been dependent on what we think of, number one, human being, what I am, who I am, and number two, the nature and existence. So depending upon what we think of this, we decide on number one and number two. For example, so whatever understanding or assumption that we have about human being, about the nature, about the existence, that leads to our understanding or assumption about basic human desire and the program for its fulfillment. And that leads to action. That leads to action. And you can see that any culture or civilization is characterized by all this, by the basic understanding or the assumption about human being, about the nature and existence. Then the assumption or understanding about the basic human desire and the program for its fulfillment. And then followed by the actions made for the fulfillment of this basic desire. Let's look at this. In today's civilization, what do we think about human being? Number one, about nature and existence. So let's look about human being. Is human being just the body? Or is human being something more than body? What do you think?
More than a body. Much more.
That is from person to person. I think human body consists of physical body, mind and spirit. So there are some persons who don't think there is a soul. They think this physical body is the final thing. And they go a simple collective material. Yeah, I'm not asking about that general body. I'm asking about you. Yeah, what do you think? You are just a body, or you are something more than the body?
Much more than the body.
Yeah, that's simple. We will ask this question to ourselves directly. rather than referring to the general body now. Then it's very difficult to find the answer. Is physical facility alone sufficient for fulfillment of human being?
No.
No. Very nice. What is our effort for? Accumulation of physical facility or something more? Something more. What more?
Both.
Yeah. So what more?
Happiness and bliss.
So let's see. We'll explore further into this, that what is required for the fulfillment of human being. Physical facility plus something more. And what is that something more? Right? Let's look at that. We are basically asking this question, what basic human desire first. And then we'll get back to what human being is through that. So let's ask yourself, do we want to be happy? Yes? No? Do we want to be prosperous? Yes. Do we want the continuity of happiness and prosperity?
That's all.
Very affirmative us or any doubt on it? Very affirmative, right? But now when you look at your state of being, right, and ask the same question, are we happy? Are we prosperous? Is there continuity of happiness and prosperity? So this is very interesting. When we ask this desire, we have a very affirmative yes, right? When we ask question about our state of being, your voice goes down, right? Not so affirmative.
Difficult to answer.
And
Difficult to answer.
very difficult, or just for accumulation of physical facility. So if you look at our effort, as a society, as individuals, as family, today what are we doing? Are we working for this or working for this? What do you think?
Effort.
Desire is very definite, right? Happiness, prosperity and its continuity. But are we working on it or we are just working for accumulation of physical facility?
Sometimes working. It's both. Somewhere in between.
So find it out. Okay. The next question is, have you assumed that happiness and prosperity will be ensured when you have enough physical facility? No. Very good. Then what effort are you making for continuity of happiness and prosperity other than accumulation of physical facility? Very difficult to answer. Yes. Attending class. So, if you look at the way we are going, we want continuity of happiness and prosperity. But what we are doing for it is making effort for accumulating more and more physical facility. So even if you are educated in IITs, right, it means what? Better job, higher salary, more physical facility. Right? Or is it something more? Yeah, so what is that more? What is that more that we are looking for?
Doing good works for the others, not for self.
Others. Good. So let's go to that a little further. So this question we had already asked, is physical facility alone sufficient for fulfillment of human being? The answer was no. Right? Very good. Now if we try to find out what more is required, these are two things which are required in addition to physical facility. So let me ask you this question. What do you think now? Whether all these three things are required for you or you can do with physical facility alone? physical facility with rest of nature. Let's see. All three are required? Or you can do away with any one of them. What do you think?
All three are required.
All three are required. Today, are we taking care of all three of them? Or we are largely focusing here?
Largely focusing.
Mainly focus here. Very good. If all three are required, what is going to be the priority?
Understand your
Right understanding is the first priority.
relationships.
Second is relationship. Third is physical facility. And now you can understand what we are doing, right? We are not taking care of the first priority. We are not taking care of the second priority. We are only working with the third priority with the expectation that it will take care of happiness and prosperity. And it is continued. So what do you think? Is it going to work? The first priority we are not paying attention. That is right understanding. The second priority we are not paying attention. Fulfillment in relationship with human being. The third priority, the physical facility also. That is the one which we are paying attention to all the time, or most of the time, if not all the time. Is that clear? Is that clear? Or any question on this? So two things we have said. Number one, all three are required. Right understanding in this cell, fulfillment in relationship with human being, and physical facility with rest of nature. And they have a priority. So this comes under first priority, the second priority, and the third priority. And therefore, if we want to ensure happiness and prosperity and its continuity, we need to take care of all of them, all three of them, in this priority. Today what we are doing is, we are not taking care of this, we are not taking care of this. I am asking, is there any question on this? Okay, now proceed. If you have question, you can ask immediately. If you are working only for this, that is the result. If you don't have the right understanding, you do not know how to ensure fulfillment in relationship. Therefore, you end up becoming unhappy within. And when you are unhappy within, you are making others unhappy. So I keep asking mothers particularly, when do you shout at the child or beat the child? When you are comfortable within or uncomfortable within? Uncomfortable within, right? So you are in a state of unhappiness yourself, and you are making the child unhappy. That is what you will do. Isn't it? Is that clear? Yes. So, if you are not caring for this and you are not caring for this, you will end up becoming unhappy ourselves and make others unhappy. So this is your daily experience. I don't have to give example. You cannot verify. Similarly, if you don't have the right understanding, you do not know how much physical facility is required for you. And if you do not know how much physical facility is required for you, then it is not of how much you accumulate, you continue to feel deprived. And if you are feeling deprived, will you think of nurturing others or exploiting others? Exploiting others. So you think of exploiting others, depriving others. Right? Isn't it? So even people who have lakhs of crores of rupees or worth asset, they are still continuously feeling deprived and they are ending up exploiting others. We have enough examples, right? If you ask yourself, do you have a clarity about how much physical facility is required for you? Anybody?
We don't know. We don't know.
Unlimited. That is what we have been made to believe. Right? And if you want unlimited physical facility, will you have this feeling of having more than what is required ever?
No.
So I keep taking this another example, saying that if you have a glass which does not have a base, right? It does not have a base. How much tea will it take to fill the glass? Never ending. So, irregardless of how much you accumulate physically, you do not have the feeling of prosperity. You do not have the feeling that you have more than what is required because you have not understood what is required for you.
Cable and more.
Right? Yeah.
Just check cable. Just move cable.
Another question which I keep asking is, how many of you in this know how many pairs of clothes you have? I am not even asking the number.
Yes, more than.
Yeah, more than. So how many pairs of clothes you have? Do you know it? Mostly not, right? Now this is what is happening, right? We do not know how much we need, we do not know how much we have. Therefore we are not never able to decide whether we have more than what is required or less than what is required. Right? So irregardless of how much we have accumulated, we continue to have a feeling of deprivation. And when we have a feeling of deprivation, we think of exploiting others, depriving others. So that is where we are. So if you look at the stage where we are today, right, we are unhappy with making others unhappy because of lack of right understanding and right feeling in relationship. Then we are feeling deprived ourselves and we are depriving others because we do not know how much physical facility is required, right, due to lack of right understanding. So if you are only working for physical facility alone, you will neither feel happy nor prosperous, right? And of course you will not be a source of happiness and prosperity for others, right? So that is one important conclusion. On the other hand, if you are ensuring all three, that is if you are ensuring right understanding, right feeling and physical facility with respect to nature, then with right understanding I can ensure fulfillment in relationship. I know how to ensure fulfillment in relationship, right? With the fulfillment of that relationship, okay, I will be in a state of happiness within and I will be able to make others happy. So it will lead to mutual happiness. Similarly, when I have the right understanding, not getting that. So similarly with right understanding, I know how much physical facility is required for me. And if I am able to ensure more than what is required, I will these three things, the right understanding in this self, the fulfillment in relationship with human being, and with physical facility with rest of nature, I can ensure happiness and prosperity for myself, and I can work for happiness and prosperity of others. Thereby, I can work for ensuring continuity of happiness and prosperity. Right? So, if you look at what we are doing today, we are working for physical facility, right? With the lack of right understanding in the self and fulfillment in relationship with other human beings. As a result, we are unhappy, deprived, making others unhappy, deprived. Right? What is being proposed is that with right understanding in the self, with fulfillment in relationship with other human beings, and with right kind of physical facility, working with rest of nature, we can ensure happiness and prosperity for ourselves and work for the happiness and prosperity of others. So what do you desire to do? What do you think? The first one, a state of unhappiness and deprivation for yourself and for others, or the second one, the state of happiness and prosperity for yourself and working for happiness and prosperity of others. What do you think? Which one is desired? The second one. Right. So what we are saying is that this first one is what we are calling as animal consciousness. The second one is what we are calling as human consciousness. Living with animal consciousness and living with human consciousness. We are calling it animal consciousness because only the animals can be fulfilled with physical facility alone and not the human. For example, if a cow gets, stomach full of grass, it can sit and chew the cud. It can sit very comfortably and chew the cud. If you look at human being, if you don't have enough to eat, right, you will be restless, unhappy. But when you get enough to eat, what happens? Are you able to sit comfortably?
Quality food.
And
Then I want more tasty food, quality food.
yeah, not tasty food, quality food. Even if you have very tasty and quality food,
More tasty.
right? You want something more, and you may not know what is more. Right? In fact, when you don't have enough to eat, you have a definite target. When you have enough to eat, there is no definite target only. So you are more in trouble. That is why the societies which have accumulated a lot of riches, they are the ones who tend to commit suicide more. Because then you have realized that physical facility is not enough. Right? It's alone is not enough. And you don't know what to do more. So both way you are going. So you don't have a definite target. Right? Number two, you don't know what else to do. So we are saying that if you are working only for physical facility, it may suffice for animals, but it will not suffice for human beings. If you are working only for physical facility, you are living with animal consciousness. Because your basic aspiration cannot be fulfilled by this. If you are working for all three, it will ensure happiness, prosperity, and its continuity for yourself, and you can work for happiness and prosperity of others. This one calling as living with human consciousness, because this ensures your basic human desire, the fulfillment of your basic human desire. So with this in mind, now you can ask yourself, what is your natural preference? To be in a state of animal consciousness or to be in a state of human consciousness? Human consciousness. Where are we? The state of animal consciousness or the state of human consciousness?
In between.
Okay, think about it. The third question is that transformation from animal consciousness to human consciousness desirable or not desirable?
Very desirable.
Very desirable. Right. So what we are talking about essentially is to work for a system of education which can ensure this transformation from animal consciousness to human consciousness. So basically when we are saying value education or universal human values to be taught in the education system, we are saying that we must evolve a system of education which can ensure this transformation from animal consciousness to human consciousness. That is, if the child is going through this process of education, he is able to ensure all these three things, right? The right understanding in the self, the fulfillment in relationship with human being, and physical facility with the rest of nature, so that he lives with happiness and prosperity for himself and works for the happiness and prosperity of others. That kind of education system is what we are calling as value-based education. What education is what we a human society. So that is basically what we are trying to work for or aspire for. If you have this kind of system of education which can lead to this transformation from human consciousness to human consciousness, then human beings living with human consciousness will give rise to a human society. What we have today is an inhuman society. Because people living with animal consciousness would ultimately result into an inhuman society. So, if you look at the transformation at the society level, right, we are working for transformation from inhuman society to human. What do you think today? Do we have a human society or inhuman society?
Very complex.
Very complex, yes. But what is the first guess? In fact, I keep asking, what is the greatest fear that you face today? Out of the three types, the fear of natural calamity, the fear of wild animals, and the fear of inhuman behavior of human beings. And it is on the increase or it is on the decrease? So if you ask that question to yourself, you will realize whether we are increasingly having a human society or inhuman society. Okay. So I'll just recall this. I've already kind of put forward the basic proposal that if I'm living only with this, I'm living with animal consciousness. If I'm living with this, all three, ensuring happiness and prosperity for myself and working for happiness and prosperity for others, then I'm living with human consciousness. And this transformation from animal consciousness to human consciousness is what is desirable. Right? So this we have asked and we have the answer, that is, we don't want to be here, we want to be here. Right? Therefore this transformation is desirable. Okay? And the most important thing for this transformation is the education, right education system. That is what we are talking about. When we are saying value education or universal human values to be a part of the academics, right, we are saying you must have an education system which can ensure this transformation from animal consciousness to human consciousness. And if this has to be done, I said, right, this is what really needs to be done. So at these three things, at the level of right understanding in this self, I need to ensure the understanding of harmony at each of these levels, right? Harmony in the human being, harmony in family, harmony in society, harmony in nature and existence. Because this is the total expanse of my being. Knowingly or unknowingly, we all live at all these levels, right? As an individual, as a family, as a society, as a unit of nature and existence. Okay. Therefore, if I want to ensure understanding, right, understanding of human being, understanding of nature, understanding of the whole existence, I need to have the understanding of all this. Right. And the underlying harmony. Because when I am in harmony with Him, I am in a state of happiness. When I am in harmony with others, I am in a state of happiness. Whenever I am in contradiction with Him, I am in a state of unhappiness. Whenever I am in contradiction with others, I am in a state of unhappiness. So basically, when I am in harmony, I am in a state of happiness. Therefore, if I want to ensure happiness, I have to ensure harmony. And if I want to ensure harmony, first I have to understand harmony at each level of my being. And these are the levels of my being which I can identify. With this understanding, then I should be able to live in harmony at all these levels. starting from individual to family to society to nature and existence. And if you look at this, you can see it in two parts: living in harmony with other human beings and living in harmony with rest of people. So if I can do all this, if I can ensure all this, I will be in a state of happiness within, right? And I will work for happiness of others. I will have a feeling of prosperity within, and I will work for the prosperity of others. Yes, any question on this? If you further expand on this, this is how it will look like. So basically, as a human being, we need to ensure all these three things, right? Right understanding in the self, which has to do with understanding the harmony order with entire nature, from family order to world family order, leading to fulfillment of human goal and inclusion in all. So this is what we need to do, right? So if this is what we need to do to ensure fulfillment of human being, then now you can see that this is what is going to be the content of value education, or content of any education which we can call as human education. So this is going to be the content, or this is going to be the content. What do you think? Anything is unnecessary here? For example, what do you want? Undivided society or divided society? Undivided society. What do we have? Divided or undivided? Divided. Yes. So all this is what is desirable, and this is what we need to do for ourselves. Right? So, responding to the first thing that I said, the first responsibility that I had was to introduce you to the content of value education and the process of value education. As per the content, this is what is the content, right? Of what you call as value education, what we call as universal values. This is what we need to understand for ourselves and for everybody else. This is what we need to understand. So this is the content. Regarding the process, we have already said it's going to be a process of self-exploration, self-investigation, self-verification, which will be initiated through this course. But once this process is initiated, it will go on within each one of you. With this background, now let me go a little further and look at the kind of society that it will result into. So if you are living with minimal consciousness, this is the kind of society it will result into. So you have assumptions without understanding. For example, money is everything is one such assumption. So instead of right understanding, you have assumptions. Then you have accumulations by any means. So instead of prosperity, you are looking for accumulation by any means. You have domination, exploitation and fear in the society, and you have mastery and exploitation over nature. And if you have all this is where it leads to. On the other hand, if you are living with human consciousness, this is what it will result into. So if you ask yourself, do you desire for all this living in society? Right understanding and right feeling leading to happiness in every individual, prosperity in every family, fearlessness, trust in society, coexistence, mutual fulfillment in nature and existence. What do you think? Do you desire for all this? Or anything is unnecessary?
Everything.
This is ideal but difficult to get like this.
Yeah, at least let us understand what we desire for, then we'll see whether it is possible or not possible. At least there should be a definite place where we want to reach. That clarity has to be there. Then we'll work out how to reach there. So regarding the target, this is where we want to reach. And this is where we are. What do you think? We are here or here? So now you put everything together, this is how it looks like. Which means we are here living in animal consciousness, or I am not saying you are here, I am saying if we are here, we will live to this kind of society. If we are here, we will result into this kind of society. Now you can find out where you are, right? And you can also check this, whether this transformation, both at the level of individual and at the level of society, is desirable or not desirable. Yes, it is needed. So we are essentially working for this. Now in the light of this transformation, now we can talk about a few things. This is what we have said, till now, that basic human expression is for well-being of all. Right? And this well-being of all is ensured by this. So we are saying the human education will lead to human consciousness, which will lead to human values, which will lead to human content, which will ultimately lead to healthy human society. So this is what we have said till now. In the light of this now, let's talk about what we are going to discuss in this conference, right? In 3 days to come. So if you look at healthy human society now, it means healthy human being plus healthy environment. Both are required? Yes? Okay. If you look at this healthy human being, the human being is coexistence of the self and the body. So I asked that question, are you just the body or you are something more than the body? More than the body. Now if you try to find out what is more than the body, it is basically the self. And I can investigate and find out that I have a need for respect and need for food. This need for food relates to the body. The need for respect relates to the self. Right? And both these needs have to be fulfilled. The need for physical facility, food for example, is temporary. So when I am feeling hungry, I need food. When my stomach is full, I don't need food. But when it comes to respect, it is continuous in time. There is no time when you would say, I don't need respect anymore. In terms of quantity, this is quantitative and I can find out how much quantity is required. This is qualitative, it is in the form of feeding. And therefore, when you try to fulfill these two needs, the need for physical facility for food is fulfilled by physiochemical things. But need for the self, happiness, the respect, is fulfilled by right understanding and right feeling. So you can see that there are two parallel worlds, the world of material and the world of consciousness. Okay. And we need to take care of both. So if that is the case, we can now see that the human being is not just the physical body, but coexistence of self and the body. Right. That is what we are saying psychosomatic, the mental as well as the physical. And therefore the health of human being would mean health of the self, the consciousness, and health of the body. I am not discussing this in more detail, but this is what will be expanded in detail in the keynote 2. The other thing that we can see, all these details you can see that this relates to the need of the self and the need of the body. Therefore, this relates to the health of the body, health and the health of the body. But all this will be discussed in keynote 2. With this now, if you look at the environment of human being, right? The environment of human being consists of both the other human being as well as the rest of nature. And therefore, the health of environment has to do with health of the family, the health of the society, and the health of the nature. Right? And of course, ultimately the existence. So if I can understand this, and now I sum up, what we are saying is the following. The basic human aspiration is for happiness, prosperity and its continuity. And this is what is the well-being of all, and this is what healthy human society is. And if you need healthy human society, you have to work for healthy human being and the healthy environment. Right? And this healthy human being is to do with health of the self and the body. And the healthy environment is to do with health of the family, society, nature and existence. So if you look at the whole conference, this is how it is organized. The keynote 1 that we are talking about now. This keynote 2 will talk about the healthy human being. Right? Keynote 3 will talk about the healthy environment, that is, talk about the health of the family, the society, the nature and existence. And ultimately, with all this clarity, how this education would look like, education for healthy human society would look like, that is keynote 4. So that is how the whole discussion will flow. Of course, in between, we will talk about the problems. So this is talking about the solution. Right? But there are so many problems. So in between, we will talk about the problems. So if you look at the panel discussions, right, many of them are focused around the problems that we are facing and the possible solution that we have. Right? Then ultimately the experience of going through this process, right, what has been our achievements, what has been the possibility that we are able to see, those sharing will be there. So that is how we go about. So good. I think that was my opportunity to fulfill. And I have done the job. If there is any question, take it up.
You have 15 minutes to ask questions. So we'll just entertain 2 questions.
Yeah, my
Bhargav sir, the first doubt that occurs to my mind is, I think you placed a lot of importance on relationships. I'd like to know what is the most critical aspect that can bring harmony in a relationship?
that can.
Bring harmony into relationship between human being to human being, human being to nature, for that matter.
See, the most important thing in relationship is the feeling. Right? The feeling of trust, feeling of respect, feeling of affection. Right? Is what is important in relationship. Today what we think, if we have more physical facility, we will be able to take care of relationship. Which does not happen. If we have more physical facility, but we don't have the feeling for each other, then we cannot ensure the fulfillment in relationship. So that is one point. That what is going to play a very crucial role in relationship is the feeling that we have for each other. If you look at the feeling, there are feelings like trust, respect, affection, care, guidance, and so on. If you look at all these feelings, particularly when you look at the feeling of trust, right, that plays the most important role. So that is why we call it as a foundation value. That provides the foundation of relationship. Right? And when you look at this trust, it has to do with your intention as well as your competence. Right? So if we can have trust on intention of the other, even though if the other does not have a competence, right, we can feel related to the other. The moment we have doubt on intention of the other, instead of feeling related to the other, we feel in opposition with the other. So now you ask the question to yourself, how many people you have trust on intention which is unconditional? Right. So if you have doubt on intention of the other, will you consider him as related to you or as in opposition to you? So that is where the problem is. The very trust, very foundation is shaking. Right? So even if you are living like a husband and wife for 50 years together, right? You still don't have that trust or intention of the other. If the other says something which you don't like, right, you start doubting his intention or her intention. And it is that which hurts you. If you knew that the intentions are good, but the other person is lacking competence, then what will you do? Will you get irritated, get angry, have a feeling of opposition, or you will try to improve upon his competence? What will you do? If the other person is lacking competence, but you don't have doubt about his intention, what will you do? Will you try to help improve his competence? Yes. But do we do that? Or we get irritated, get angry, have a feeling of opposition? So that very foundation, of relationship, which is trust, and that trust on intention, that is missing today. And if that is missing, any amount of physical facility will not ensure relationship. But of course, we need to get into more details about these feelings, and how we can understand these feelings, how we can ensure these feelings in ourselves, and ensure the fulfillment with the other unconditionally. All those details we have to understand. That is why so much of time is required. Yes, any other questions?
So my question comes very beautifully presented, sir. I would like to understand, as a healthcare professional, we always try to look at what is the cause for this problem. And my question is, why are we going, as human race, why are we going away from being human? What is it that is making us go away?
Yeah, very simple. Our wrong assumption that human being is equal to just body. Therefore, human being is equal to animal. Therefore, the need of the human being can be fulfilled with physical facility alone. This wrong assumption is leading us to this kind of situation. And that is what we are basically questioning. That human being is not just the body. It is the coexistence of the self and the body, the consciousness and the material. And of course, the need of the material has to be fulfilled. But need of consciousness has also to be fulfilled. Right? So we keep saying that the man is a combination, right? Whose body is related to the earth, whose self is related to the sky. Right? And that range is there. So human being has to live with that range. Then only he will feel fulfilled. If he is only living with this earth, right, that is not enough for it. And if it just flies in the sky, that will also not work, right? So when it comes to body, it is related to the earth. Right? When it comes to the self, it comes to that, relationship with one and with everyone, ultimately with the whole existence. What Pradhan was telling, that coexistence. Right? So I should be able to realize, understand that coexistence, that harmony, that relationship, and be with that feeling of coexistence, harmony and relationship. Only then it will lead to a state of happiness within, and not otherwise. So the big problem that we have today is this, that we are going by the assumption that human being is equal to body. Therefore, the need of human being is physical facility, and therefore more and more physical facility will ensure the fulfillment of human being. If we go by that, we act more like animal. And when we are acting like animal, we are worse than the animal. In fact, animal living with animal consciousness is fine. Human being living with human consciousness is also fine. Right? But human being living with animal consciousness is the problem. Right? He is worse than the animal. No animal can kill 60 lakh people in a lifetime, right? But the human being can. Human being with animal consciousness can kill 60 lakhs people in his lifetime. So that is the core reason.
like in a society, developing society like India, where a citizen is growing with an insecurity, where most of the things are not provided and taken care of by governments. And this insecurity is what makes the bottom of the glass not there, and people want to accumulate for security. Do you foresee that if governance provides for this security, then people will accept these values for prosperity? But then they would not be threatened. Because if they would not be threatened, then only they would understand. And whether this education that we want to impart to make them human beings need to be decoupled from employability, so that they would not equate these with each other.
See, I have two things to say. Number one, what do you think? People in America, are they satisfied? Fulfilled? No. Okay. So that is one thing. Second is, if you don't have this right understanding and right feeling, any amount of physical facility will not ensure happiness and prosperity for you. So the crisis is that not only that you don't have enough, but you don't know what is enough. In fact, if you look at the record, it says we are already producing 6 times what is required for all the people on earth. We are already producing 6 times what is required for all the people on earth. Right? Still there is shortage, there is scarcity, there is deprivation. Not because of the production, lack of production. Because of wastage. Because of lack of relationship. Right? Because of lack of right understanding, which leads to lack of relationship. Right? So the answer lies not just in producing more and more, but it lies in, right, having the right relationship and the right understanding, which means having the right education and sanskar. India is producing almost 3 times what is required for all the people in India. And this is out of the available data. For many things, data are not available.
But still people are living without food.
Without right understanding, one person can eat 1 kg of meat, which calls for 14 to 16 kg of grain, right, to prepare that 1 kg of meat. So you can eat for 14 to 16 kg. In Europe and America, they have cattle industries or the meat industry, which is consuming enough grain which can feed to 8.9 billion people now, more than the total population of the world. So we need to do something about physical fertility, that is true, but we need to do something about the right understanding and about the right feeling, the relationship. Then only the problem will be solved, not otherwise. And even America needs to do that.